Fame once ran through concert stages, magazine covers, and the 11 o'clock news. In the internet era, a single clip could rewrite a reputation before dinner. These were 15 Elon Musk moments that played like instant pop culture history packed into one fast countdown. Subscribe and ride along with these time capsule moments that turned boardroom news into living room television. Number 15. Pedo Guy Tweet by Elon Musk. In July 2018, the Thailand cave rescue story took a hard left into pure internet chaos. After criticizing British diver Vernon Unsworth, Musk fired off insults on Twitter, including the phrase "pedo guy," and the backlash turned global. For older viewers, it felt like a tabloid-era scandal, except it unfolded minute by minute on a phone screen. By December 6, 2019, it ended in a Los Angeles federal courtroom, where a jury found Musk not liable for defamation. He was 48 when the verdict arrived, and the bigger legacy was the lesson. One impulsive message could become sworn testimony, headline cycles, and brand damage all at once. It became a defining symbol of the social media CEO era. Number 14. Funding secured by Elon Musk. On August 7, 2018, one tweet hit like a cymbal crash. Musk wrote he was considering taking Tesla private at $420 per share, adding the words "funding secured." Markets jumped, skeptics pounced, and the phrase instantly entered the culture as both punchline and warning sign. The SEC moved fast, and the consequences were concrete. In a September 2018 settlement, Musk agreed to step down as Tesla's chairman, and both he and Tesla agreed to pay $20 million each in penalties. Musk was 47, and it locked in his reputation as a leader who treated social media like a microphone at a live show. For many investors, that day marked the moment CEO communication became a high-stakes performance. Number 13. Go F Yourself by Elon Musk. On November 29, 2023, a business interview turned into a viral monologue. On stage at the New York Times Dealbook Summit, Musk pushed back against advertisers leaving X, formerly Twitter, and delivered a blunt, profane message that news outlets quoted instantly. The tone was not corporate, it was raw, defiant, and built for replay. At 52, he leaned into the role of anti-polished executive, the opposite of the old-style media-trained CEO. The clip mattered because it revealed how central advertising pressure was to the platform's future and how willing he was to fight in public rather than negotiate quietly. It also showed why his moments spread. They played like live TV, unpredictable, quotable, and impossible to ignore once they landed. Number 12. Let That Sink In by Elon Musk. On October 26, 2022, Musk walked into Twitter headquarters carrying a literal sink and posted, "Let that sink in." It was a simple sight gag, but it set the tone for a $44 billion takeover. The image felt like a throwback to old late-night television, where one prop could define the whole bit. The timing mattered. The deal closed the following day, and the sink moment turned a legal and financial saga into a punchline anyone could understand. Musk was 51, and he turned corporate history into meme culture in a single frame. For audiences who grew up with nightly anchors explaining the world, it was a new kind of headline. The CEO became the showman, and the office lobby became the stage. Number 11. Kill the Bird by Elon Musk. On July 23, 2023, Musk announced Twitter would be rebranded to X, and one of the most recognizable icons on the internet, the bluebird, began disappearing in public. It felt like watching a classic radio call sign get erased overnight, the end of a familiar era with no slow fade. The follow-through made it real. On May 17, 2024, the platform's primary web identity shifted as Twitter.com links redirected to X.com. Musk was 52, and he treated a cultural institution like software, something to rewrite fast. The iconic part was not just the new letter, it was the willingness to discard decades of brand equity on camera, letting the audience react in real time, like a live format change nobody voted for. Before we continue, which era felt most unforgettable? Tesla drama, SpaceX spectacle, or social media chaos? Did you watch any of these moments unfold live, the way people once watched big network specials? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Number 10. Name one example by Elon Musk. On April 11, 2023, a surprise interview with BBC reporter James Clayton became a looping clip across the internet. Musk challenged claims about rising hate speech on Twitter, pressing for specifics with a repeated demand for an example. The exchange landed because it sounded like a live debate, not a polished segment. The iconic ingredient was control of the frame. By narrowing the conversation to a single screenshot-level example, he shifted the dynamic from broad trends to a real-time performance. Musk was 51, and the moment showed how modern media power worked, not through a studio desk, but through a live stream and confidence. For viewers raised on crossfire-style television arguments, it felt familiar, just faster. The debate style became a template many public figures copied in the years that followed. Number 9. Rogan Blunt by Elon Musk. On September 6, 2018, Musk appeared on The Joe Rogan Experience, sipped whiskey, and smoked marijuana on camera. The clip traveled like a hit single, instantly recognizable, endlessly reposted, and impossible to separate from the moment's vibe. It was not a press conference, it was 2.5 hours of loose, unfiltered conversation. The fallout proved it was more than a meme. NASA leadership later criticized the optics because SpaceX worked with the agency, and coverage tracked how the moment hit the market narrative around Tesla. Musk was 47, and he showed that a CEO could chase the same cultural oxygen once reserved for musicians and movie stars. For a generation that remembered Johnny Carson couch moments, this was the modern equivalent, except the internet never stopped replaying it. Number 8. Starship 4 Minutes by Elon Musk. On April 20, 2023, SpaceX launched the first fully integrated Starship test flight, booster, and ship together, the kind of engineering spectacle that used to belong only to NASA broadcasts. The stream looked historic, flames and smoke, a giant vehicle climbing like a moving skyscraper. Then it began to tumble and was destroyed during the test. The moment still felt iconic because it turned risk into shared experience. Musk was 51, and the event reinforced his public philosophy: build fast, test hard, accept failure, iterate. For older viewers, it echoed the messy early days of rockets, when exploration meant uncertainty. The aftermath included regulatory review and public debate about safety and process, but the cultural imprint was immediate. Even people who did not follow spaceflight knew the phrase rapid unscheduled disassembly by the end of the week. Number 7. Armor Glass Fail by Elon Musk. On November 21, 2019, Tesla unveiled the Cybertruck in a live event built around toughness. The pitch promised armor glass windows that were virtually unbreakable. Then Tesla's chief designer Franz von Holzhausen threw a metal ball at the glass and it cracked. Another window cracked too. The crowd reacted in that unforgettable way, half stunned, half laughing. What made it iconic was the real-time imperfection. There was no editing bay, no second take, just a demo failure frozen forever in the clip economy. Musk was 48 and he reacted live, trying to regain the narrative as the internet wrote the headline for him. The Cybertruck itself remained a long-running story, but that window break became the moment people remembered like a classic live TV mishap. Sometimes the mistake became the hook. Number 6. Optimus Raises the Roof by Elon Musk. On September 30th, 2022, at Tesla AI Day, a prototype of the Optimus humanoid robot walked out cautiously, waved, and made a raise-the-roof gesture to music. It looked small and awkward, but it hit something deep in the audience. The future did not arrive as a sleek movie machine, it arrived as a hesitant first step. The iconic part was not perfection, it was visibility. Musk was 51 and he put an unfinished idea on stage anyway, betting the clip would carry the dream. The presentation tied Optimus to Tesla's broader software and automation identity, and it pulled robotics into mainstream conversation for casual viewers. For older audiences who remembered early home computers booting slowly, the vibe was familiar. The first version was clunky, but it proved the concept was no longer just talk. Before we continue, which clip felt most like classic television? The live demo fail, the podcast moment, or the rocket stream? Did these stories reach you through cable news, a newspaper site, or a friend texting a link late at night? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Number 5. Not a Flamethrower by Elon Musk. In late January 2018, Musk turned merchandising into mythology. Through the Boring Company, he teased a flamethrower like it was a limited edition collector item. By February 1, 2018, he posted that 20,000 units were sold out at $500 each, turning a joke into a real product line and a real pile of revenue. The reason it felt iconic was the simplicity. No big ad buy, no glossy campaign, just internet attention converted into sales, instantly. Musk was 46, and it showed a new kind of celebrity, the founder as the brand, the audience as the marketing department. For viewers who grew up with mail-order novelty ads and late-night infomercials, this was the modern version, faster and more targeted. The "not a flamethrower" became a symbol of how the Musk era blurred business, performance, and fandom. Number 4. $200,000 Mars Ticket by Elon Musk. On September 27, 2016 in Guadalajara, Musk delivered a keynote at the International Astronautical Congress that sounded like science fiction with spreadsheets. He outlined what was then called the Interplanetary Transport System and argued that getting to Mars had to become affordable. Reports summarized his target as roughly $200,000 per ticket, about the price of a house so ordinary people could someday imagine it. The talk played like a concept album for the future. Musk was 45, and he used a stage and slides the way old broadcast specials used to sell a dream, with scale, timelines, and big promises. Even when the dates shifted, the cultural effect stuck. It moved Mars from fantasy to a plan people argued about at the dinner table. The clip remains iconic because it made a private company pitch feel like a national space announcement. Number 3. First Human Implant by Elon Musk. On January 29, 2024, Musk posted that the first human had received a Neuralink brain implant and was recovering well. The message was short, but it landed heavy. For anyone who grew up watching Bionic Man reruns or reading early computer magazines, it felt like a boundary line. A science fiction idea had stepped into real clinical reality. The iconic quality came from how little was shown and how much was implied. Musk was 52, and the announcement instantly sparked debates about medicine, disability technology, and long-term ethics. Coverage emphasized that details were limited at the time, which only increased the public fascination. The moment also highlighted a wider industry trend. Brain-computer interfaces were becoming a serious field, not just a thought experiment. Regardless of where people stood, the clip marked a new chapter in the public imagination of human and machine. Number 2. Saturday Night Live Monologue by Elon Musk. On May 8, 2021, Musk hosted Saturday Night Live, stepping into a kind of American institution that many older viewers remembered as a weekly event. In the opening monologue, he joked about himself and disclosed that he had Asperger's syndrome. It was a moment of vulnerability delivered on one of the biggest mainstream stages still left. The episode mattered because it proved how far CEO fame had traveled. Musk was 49, and he was not just a business headline anymore, he was variety show material, sketch by sketch, laugh by laugh. The reception was mixed, but the cultural impact was undeniable. The internet turned the monologue into a set of instant clips. For viewers raised on Ed Sullivan-style national moments, it felt like a strange new era. A tech executive had crossed fully into entertainment history. Number 1. Starman Roadster by Elon Musk. On February 6, 2018, SpaceX launched the Falcon Heavy from Launch Pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center, and the payload was pure showmanship. A cherry-red Tesla Roadster rode into space with a mannequin called Starman in the driver's seat, filmed by onboard cameras with Earth hanging in the background. During the webcast, David Bowie's Space Oddity played, turning a rocket launch into something closer to a music video. The details made it unforgettable. The camera feeds kept streaming until the batteries died roughly 4 hours after launch, leaving audiences wanting more, like the end of a great live broadcast. Musk was 46, and the vibe was joyful instead of combative. For a generation raised on Apollo documentaries and classic rock radio, it felt like the future borrowing the language of the past. It remains one of the cleanest, happiest images of modern tech ambition.